Hello, creative family. I'm so excited to be sharing this Christmas DIY with you. I created a couple of beautiful Christmas angels using Dollar Tree items. When this idea first came to mind, I wasn't sure how this would turn out. It's kind of one of those projects you figure out as you go, but once you have it figured out, it's easy. I love this project. These can be made in a huge variety of styles and so many different ways to go with your Christmas decor. I'm going to go through these steps a little faster. A good bit of this is common sense, so I'm not going to spend much time talking or showing the basic steps that everyone knows how to do. So to make these angels, you'll need a trumpet glass from the kitchen aisle of Dollar Tree and a small fishbowl or candle holder. I've heard them called both. The trumpet glass is the dress, and you can decorate it any way you want, with gems, paint, glitter, fabric, just whatever you want to go with. I used about 3 layers of Mod Podge and iridescent glitter on one of my angels. And for the other one, I hot glued the acrylic gems starting at the bottom and I worked my way around. And I stopped towards the top when I got to where the trumpet glass curves back out, kind of like a mushroom. And in case you decide to create an angel with the gems, if you use hot glue to adhere your gems to the glass, be sure to also add a drop of hot glue on the acrylic gems as you work your way up so that you're gluing the gems to each other. Now, acrylic and glass doesn't really have a good bond, but acrylic and acrylic together with the hot glue are super, super strong. So this will make your gems stay intact. That way you won't have to end up re-gluing the gems. I stopped there and I allowed the first one to dry and the second one to sit with the hot glue. So I turned to my fish bowls. Now, up front, I'll tell you this did not go as planned. Long story short, I originally wanted to use a light on the inside of this. And if you want to do that, I would go with probably spray paint versus acrylic paint. The color I went with is antique white. I painted 3 coats on the inside and 2 coats on the outside, thinking that I wouldn't be able to see the streaks from my paintbrush. So just looking at it, it was fine, but once I put a light on the inside of it, it was a hot mess. So I decided to add some champagne glitter to the inside, and I have some fine snow glitter, and I added that to the outside. Now the label on this says snow. And so you know it is not white. It's a very transparent. It didn't even change the paint color at all. My other fish bowl, I kept it simple. I just went with 2 layers or 2 coats of the Mod Podge and glitter. And this is for the angel wearing the crystal dress. And while those bowls are drying, I went back to my dresses and starting with the white one, I trimmed the top with bling wrap to define her neck. And above the bling wrap, where the glass kind of mushrooms out, I used Mod Podge with that same fine snow glitter. And that's so her neck has a different texture and look compared to her dress. For her buttons, I used mini mirrors, which came off of a Dollar Tree ornament, and I glued 3 of those down the front of her dress. And later, I went around the bottom of her dress with white beads. For the angel with the crystal dress, I made her a white fuzzy scarf. I used a washcloth from the auto section of Dollar Tree and I cut about an inch or so off the seam to get a long strip. And then I folded the rough cut edge down and glued that with hot glue. And I'm going to glue that around my angel's neck area. First, I wanted to add just a little bit more detail, so I went around the top part of her scarf with 2 rows of the white beads. Once I had the scarf around the top of the dress where I liked it, I crisscrossed it in the front and then I added some glue to hold that into place. And I also tucked the very back of the scarf under her gems. And of course, I added a little bit of bling in the front. I glued 3 gems going down the front of her scarf, and that's it for that part. So now to make her eyes, I used a bottle cap from a water bottle. I think it was Dasani water. I used that. Let's see, some black acrylic paint and a super fine tip paintbrush. Now, when you lay this lid on the glass, bring the lid up to the lip of the rim, and you'll feel the ledge on the rim stopping you from being able to push the lid any further, which is awesome because both sides will line up perfect and they'll both be an exact match without having to measure or doing one eye and it not matching and then redoing the other eye over and over a bunch of times. This makes it to where you'll be spot on. After everything is dry, then you can go ahead and glue these two bottom to bottom. You want your trumpet glass and your fishbowl glued so that both of the open ends are facing out. For her wings, I used these wing ornaments from Dollar Tree, and I wanted mine to be silver. You can totally skip this part if you're fine with the factory color and how the wings are. I flipped my wings over and I pulled the little white fuzzy patches off, and then I covered the wings in Mod Podge and silver glitter. When that dried, I held the wings up behind her and felt like you couldn't see the wings enough from the front. And it really just didn't feel like it went together. It was so unproportioned. So, to make this a little more proportioned or where it, looks like it does go together, I cut the wings in half with a hot knife. Now, I don't know what these wings are made out of. This is not a hard plastic at all. It's actually very soft and lightweight. So I'm sure you could cut this with a number of different things if you do not have a hot knife. You do decide to cut your wings after you make your cuts at the top and bottom of your wings, you'll have to shape them. Now, you'll just want to smooth out those wing tips. And I know it might look a little funky. It's not going to be pretty at first. All you want to do is make sure you have smooth edges. Then just cover the wings in a final coat of Mod Podge and glitter, and you'll never know they've even been cut on. They'll actually look like they came that way from the factory. Once that is dry, then you can go ahead and glue your fuzzy fabric pieces back into place with hot glue. And I have a 100-foot roll of white beads that I purchased on sale at Hobby Lobby for $5. Now, if you don't have anything like this in your craft supplies, you could go with fishing line, twine, floral wire, lace, ribbon, just anything that's thin and strong. And so you know, those silver beads from Dollar Tree will not work. I tried it. And I threaded my beads through the factory holes created in the design of the wings. Then I ran the beads in one wing and out the other so that they match and will hold the wings level with even support. I added a touch of hot glue where the beads touch the wings, and this is for security, but also so the wings would stay threaded and into place as I work on this step. Now you'll be able to hold your wings up and behind your angel and figure out how you want your wings to be, where you want to put them. And once you have your placement in mind, you'll wrap the beads around her and hold them kind of up or just hold both ends with one hand. And then you'll add a hot glue to the seam where the trumpet and the trumpet glass and the fishbowl meet together, and then carefully, because it's hot glue, press the beads into the hot glue. Now, this will grab and hold within seconds, and then you'll be able to work on the other side. I also add a touch of hot glue in the back where her wings touch, um, and towards the bottom where her wings touch on her dress. For her halo, I just used these craft tinsels. I braided 3 together to make them firm and stiff. Now, you can use anything round, any round object to kind of form this circle, and then you'll just twist the ends in the ring. Now you'll take two more and twist the ends on the halo part a few times, and then just wrap it down and together to make a stem. It'll be pretty long, so you'll probably have to double it over. I did mine, and then I twisted the ends into the stem. Now, to tie in my overall look, I twisted the same white beads around my halo that I used earlier, and this is just for decorations. I wanted to add just a little bit more. And finally, I glued my stem, or the halo, to the fishbowl, to the inside lip of the fishbowl. And that's it for our angel. She is now finished. And of course, you can add string lights or push lights to light up your glass angel at night and set her on a table, or make a few and a little scene, or set this with your other Christmas decoration, or even make this for gifts. I absolutely love this project. I'm so happy with how these turned out. So here are some extra clips and pictures. If you don't want to cut your wings, you can do what my original plan was, which was to attach the halo and wings together and glue this as one on the back of the glasses. I have some clips of adding the wings to the other angel, which I think it was a lot easier putting the wings on this one. I guess because I knew what I was doing and how it was going to fit this time around. And I want to thank you all so very much for watching, you guys. You mean so much to me. Thank you. We have a quote this week from Shelly Baby Me. She says, "Never stop doing your very best just because someone doesn't give you credit." It's very wise. Thank you for sharing that. And I love you guys. I'll see you very soon with another Christmas DIY.